Ever stopped mid-sentence and thought, wait, is this really the right word here?
Oh, all the time.
It's funny, isn't it, how English words, even the ones we use every day, can have these hidden layers. They sort of flex depending on how you use them.
Absolutely. And knowing the dictionary definition is one thing, but really getting those nuances, how a word shifts,
Right.
that's something else entirely.
Exactly. So today our deep dive has a really specific mission. We're going to unpack three fascinating words:
Mm-hmm.
indicate, confide, and patronize.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this great word guide you shared, and the plan is to pull out those surprising bits, those key differences that can really boost your understanding and hopefully your confidence using them.
Right. Think of this as maybe a shortcut, getting you to the core of what makes these words powerful without just memorizing lists. We're focusing on the surprising facts, the critical distinctions, the stuff that helps you avoid those little trip-ups. The goal really is to empower you, the listener, to use these words with more clarity, more confidence.
Okay, let's dive in then. First up, indicate. Now, this is a word we hear constantly, right? Turn signals, data points.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
But what's really going on with it? Is it as simple as it seems?
Well, that's the interesting part. It kind of bridges the direct and the indirect. That's where its flexibility comes from. Basically, at its heart, indicate means to point out or show or make something clear. But, and this is key, it can do that directly or indirectly, subtly.
Okay.
And what's really fascinating is how its flavor changes depending on the context. Formal versus just everyday chat.
Yeah.
So in, say, academic writing or scientific reports, professional stuff, indicate usually means something quite strong, like present evidence of or demonstrate clearly.
Right, like hard data.
Exactly, like the results indicate a strong correlation. It points to proof. But then in just normal conversation, it might be much softer. It could just mean suggest or even literally point towards, like
Yeah.
he indicated the restaurant across the street. Just a gesture.
So evidence versus just pointing something out?
Pretty much. And you can think of it as having maybe three main modes. First, there's the pointer finger mode, direct, explicit, often physical.
Like pointing at a sign.
Yeah, she indicated the exit sign, crystal clear. Then there's what you might call the raised eyebrow mode.
Okay.
This is where it's suggesting something indirectly, implying, like, his tone indicated he was upset.
Mm.
It's not explicit, but you get the message.
Gotcha, the feeling behind it.
Right. And the third mode is the data point. This is where it serves as a sign, as evidence. A fever may indicate an infection. One thing points to another probable thing.
Pointer finger, raised eyebrow, data point. I like that. It clarifies how direct, subtle, or evidentiary. So it's flexible in meaning, but what about its grammatical forms? Does it change shape much?
Oh, good question. Yeah, understanding the forms helps lock it in. The main one, obviously, is the verb, to indicate, standard. But you also get the noun, indication. That's the act of indicating, or the sign itself. There was no indication he was leaving.
The sign, right.
Then the adjective, indicative, meaning serving as a sign of. Her sigh was indicative of her boredom. And less common, but it exists, the adverb, indicatively, meaning in a way that indicates. And when you map these forms onto those modes we talked about, it clicks. So pointer finger mode. Formally, the map indicates the precise location. Colloquially, he indicated the chair for me. Simple pointing.
Makes sense.
Raised eyebrow mode, suggesting indirectly. Formally, the data indicate a possible rise. More subtly, her smile indicated she was happy. And data point mode, as evidence. Formally, symptoms indicate an underlying condition. Casually, dark clouds indicate rain. See how the core idea shifts just slightly.
Yeah, that really clarifies it. It shows how much nuance indicate can carry. Okay, so that's about showing things. What about the opposite? Keeping things hidden, sharing secrets. That leads us nicely to confide.
Ah, yes, confide.
This word feels heavy, It's all about trust.
Absolutely. Trust is the absolute core of confide. The basic definition is right there. To trust someone enough to share personal stuff, thoughts, feelings, secrets. Now, in more formal settings like literature or maybe professional advice contexts, confide really carries that weight of entrusting private matters. She confided her deepest fears to her therapist. It sounds serious.
It does.
But more casually, it can just mean telling someone something privately, something you don't want spread around. Like, okay, I'll confide in you. I actually hated that movie.
Okay. Still private, but maybe lower stakes.
Exactly. And this is where we hit a really crucial distinction. It's subtle, but it matters hugely. It's the difference between confide something to someone and confide in someone.
Oh. I never really thought about the prepositions there. What's the difference?
It's a great distinction. So when you confide something to someone, the focus is on the information, the secret, the plan, the worry. He confided his plan to his best friend. You're handing over a piece of private information.
Okay, sharing the what?
Right. But when you confide in someone, the focus shifts to the person. It's about the relationship, the reliance. She confides in her sister when she needs advice. You're placing thrust in their judgment, their support, their character. It's deeper, more relational.
Wow, okay. That's a really powerful difference. Confide to is about the secret. Confide in is about the person.
Yes, I got it.
And what about the related word forms for confide?
Well, the main verb is to confide. Then we have some important nouns, confidence, of course, which is that bedrock of trust. And the person you trust, your confidant or confidant for a woman, the keeper of the secrets.
Right.
For adjectives, there's confidential, meaning private, like confidential files. And confiding, which describes someone who seems willing to share secrets. Maybe they have a confiding manner.
Okay.
And the adverb confidentially. He told me about the merger confidentially. In secret.
So putting it all together.
Yeah, look at the examples. Sharing information, confiding to someone. Formally, the witness confided sensitive details to the investigator. Casually, I'll confide something to you, don't tell anyone. But trusting the person confiding in someone. Formally, she confides in her therapist. Colloquially, I always confide in my mom. You can feel that shift, right? From the info to the relationship.
Definitely. That in versus to makes all the difference.
Okay.
That's confide. Now, let's tackle a really tricky one. Patronize.
Yes. The linguistic minefield.
Right. This word feels like it's designed to trip people up because it has these completely opposite meanings. Ever happened to you? You try to say something nice, maybe support a local shop, but it comes out wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Or you hear someone use it and you think, wait, do they mean the good way or the bad way? It's a classic chameleon word.
So what's the deal? How can one word do two such different jobs?
It really boils down to two distinct sets of meanings. One is neutral, even positive. The other is definitely negative. In formal use, the positive sense means to support something, usually financially, or be a regular customer. Think, we encourage everyone to patronize local artists. It's about support, custom.
Okay, the good meaning.
Right. But then, still formally, the negative sense kicks in, to treat someone condescendingly like your superior. The senior partner's tone seemed to patronize the junior associates. Talking down.
And that's the one we hear more often day to day, isn't it?
Overwhelmingly, yes. In colloquial, everyday English, patronize almost always means talking down to someone. That classic line, don't patronize me, I know what I'm doing. That's the common usage now.
Okay, so let's break down those concepts. The positive one first.
Sure. Concept one. To be a customer of give financial support to, simple enough. I regularly patronize that little bakery, meaning I buy stuff there often. Then there's a slightly older, more formal sense, concept two. To act as a sponsor or protector. Think historical context. Wealthy families used to patronize painters, like being a patron of the arts. Less common now in everyday talk.
Right, like a mariachi.
Exactly. And then, the big one, concept three. To speak or behave condescendingly. This implies you think you're better or smarter. He kept explaining the obvious, really patronizing us.
Yeah, that's the one that stings. I once told a cafe owner I'd patronize their shop often, meaning I'd be a regular customer.
Oh, dear.
And they gave me this look. Clearly, they heard the negative meaning.
That's the perfect example of the trap, which is why knowing the forms is also key here. The main verb is to patronize. The nouns reflect the split. Patron can be a supporter or customer, positive, or historically a sponsor. Patronage is the act of supporting or being a customer, positive, or that historical sponsorship. But for the negative sense, the main forms are the adjective, patronizing as in a patronizing attitude, and the adverb, patronizingly, he spoke patronizingly. These are almost always negative.
Got it. So the adjective and adverb are usually negative meaning.
Generally, yes, especially in modern usage. So let's see the examples. Supporting being a customer, formally, patronize local growers. Colloquially, we always patronize that pub. The historical sponsor sense, mostly formal. The Queen patronized several musicians. You wouldn't usually say that casually. And the negative condescending sense. Formally, his comments seem to patronize her contribution. Colloquially, stop patronizing me. It's just so clear when you see them side by side.
Wow. Okay, what a journey through just 3 words. This has been Incredibly helpful.
Right.
So let's try and wrap up the core takeaways for everyone listening. Indicate is all about showing, suggesting, or being evidence direct, subtle, or data-driven.
Right.
Confide is rooted in trust, sharing privately. And remember that key difference. Confiding something to someone versus confiding in someone.
Crucial distinction.
And patronize,
Yeah.
our tricky friend. It has that positive meaning of support or custom, but way more often, especially when you hear it, it carries that negative condescending sting.
Exactly. And understanding these nuances, it really does enrich your communication, doesn't it?
Totally.
It helps you avoid those awkward moments, express yourself more precisely. It just makes you a more, well, discerning user of the language. Seeing the depth in just these 3 words really shows you there's often more going on beneath the surface.
It really does. So here's a final thought for you to chew on. Knowing now how much complexity can hide in just these 3 words, what other everyday words might you be using or hearing that have hidden layers you haven't quite grasped yet? And how might uncovering those change the way you communicate?